Welcome to the Once Upon an Island podcast, number 2 on the charts, number 1 in your hearts. I'm your host, Wesley, and of course, I'm joined by my cheerful co-host,
Rebekah,
and our first special guest of the season, Survivor Swiftie herself.
Hey guys, I am so happy to be here. I go by Katie in my regular day-to-day life, so you guys can call me Katie.
So just to be clear, Survivor Swiftie is your given legal name, but you go by Katie. That's your nickname?
You know, Rebekah, I'm so glad you brought that up because it was really a point of contention when I was growing up in school. It was so annoying,
Lots of bullying.
let me tell you. Yeah. People never understood.
That's tough. You're really brave. I just want you to know that.
I am. Thank you for noticing.
Yes. Such a survivor.
Fun fact, when I went to high school, Taylor Swift was not a big deal yet. She was just getting into music, and she had a concert that you could get into for free at a high school near me, and I chose not to go. And I didn't even know like who she was yet. I just remember like, oh, it's at a high school, like I could go to this concert, but I chose not to go. And I could have gone for free.
Minimum. I saw someone paid like $10,000 for the Eras tour. Someone paid more than what my car is worth for a ticket to go see Taylor Swift. And listen, I get it, but that's still crazy.
Well, we're here to talk about Survivor 49 episode 4. Yes, Survivor Swiftie, you can follow her on TikTok as her main platform, but you're in other locations, right? Because I messaged you on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram too. I think I'm like Survivor Swiftie something. I don't know. I'm something. I'll check and I'll give a little shout out at the end or something.
Okay, sounds like a plan. So we're gonna talk through the episode in chronological order. First things first, Rebekah. I bet you didn't even know this happened on Monday. Do you know what I'm referring to? This is a big event in the entire Survivor world.
I actually don't know if I know what you're referring to. What are you referring to?
On Monday, October 13th, as it does every year, Sammy turned 19 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Again.
This is huge.
What a milestone.
This is like when you're like talking to someone, you're like, how old are you? And they're like, I'm 29. You're like, clearly in your 50s. Is this like a joke?
Right.
That's Sammy. Sammy's still 19. He just turned 19 again. For I think the 4th or 5th time in a row. I can't keep count anymore. Yeah, just shout out to Sammy. Happy birthday, Sammy. All right, let's move on. So we start the episode off. Sophie and Alex wake up to the ocean. Sophie loses her shoe to the ocean, Rebekah. And you said something about this to me before the podcast.
The shoe bandit strikes from beyond the grave. That was my first thought when this happened. I was like, I don't know how he pulled this off, but this is Jake. He stole her shoe via the ocean somehow.
He was hiding in the water.
I heard in a post-game interview that Jake apparently actually at some point hid everybody's shoes, including his own. So Jake was an active shoe. Imagine over the course of like 4 days. Over the course of 4 days, everyone's shoes being hidden. Like that's sus.
That's
like
awesome.
That's so sus.
I think everyone knew that someone was doing it because there were even comments that we saw in one of the episodes where people were like, hey, this has happened to a lot of people. Like, this is so odd. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense that you'd have to hide your own because if his were the only ones that weren't hidden, then everyone would be like, well, it's obviously Jake doing this.
Bruh.
But that's so funny.
That's so funny. Jake is smarter than I pinned him to be.
All right,
yeah,
so
true.
I want to get into this because this is the big one. What we were all hoping for. Holy crap, can you believe it? For the first time in the new era, we've gone from 3 tribes down to 2. We did know from the next time on Survivor that it was going to be blue and yellow. I was kind of hoping it'd be red and yellow, but it was already spoiled, I guess, by next time on Survivor. What do you think, Survivor Swiftie / Katie, what do you think about them setting up a fake challenge to fake them out?
You know, like as soon as that happened, obviously because we kind of saw ahead of time, like it was kind of leaked. So we knew what was going to happen. So it was kind of ridiculous to watch like at home as a super fan who follows like everything. You know, I'm like, okay, obviously I know this is not happening, but for them, have they done this before? I feel like they've done this before with tribe swaps where they've walked up and the challenge has been set up and then they swap tribes and they don't even play the challenge. Am I tweaking, or that's happened before, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think they do this almost every time they do a tribe swap. There's some sort of like platform or something. I mean, in this case, from my gathering of looking at this, it looked like if there had been a challenge, which apparently there clearly was not. It was a fake out. It looks like the one where you stand there and try to balance balls. And that's very much a post-merge challenge to do. Mm-hmm. That's not a pre-merge challenge. So this is one that they could clearly set up with minimal effort to just enough to fake them out for the tribe swap. Because I think most of them are surprised. Though I don't want to miss this. When they walked in, Hina was singing a song and Rizgod said, cringe, cringe. Mary said that when we were watching, Mary said that she saw Savannah say it too. Was it just Rizgod or was it Savannah too?
No, it was both of them. Yeah, I heard both of them say it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't just Rizgod. I kind of want Rizgod to narrate everything that's cringe happening. Because when Alex and Sophi B are burying their buffs, I'm like, cringe. Why are we not getting a cringe for this? That is cringe.
No, I loved that. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, when she's like stomping on the buff and burying it, that was so funny.
Get out of here. That was funny.
That was hilarious.
I was thinking cringe. I can't be the only one. All right, everyone comment below. Was it cringe or was it not cringe? Whether that they were burying their buffs. Oftentimes,
funny things have some undertone of being cringe, and I think that's okay. And I stand by that.
All right, well, now we just wait for Sophi B to comment about this and explain why it wasn't cringe. All right.
Yes.
Oh, in case you didn't know, for those who maybe just checking this podcast, Sophi B is the only one for 49 who actively comments on this podcast, and we are fans of Sophi B. So any positive/negative remarks about Sophi B are all in good fun. Everyone else, though, they're dead serious. Like, these are personal comments I'm making. Everything else about everyone else.
And you say that every season. It gets really personal, yeah.
I'm really glad. I'm glad we're on the same page about Sophi B, though, because she follows me on TikTok and we've messaged on TikTok, and she is a light, a ray of sunshine, if you will. So nice. I'm so glad we're good here.
I'm so glad things are looking up for her. I guess we'll get into it more, but like, yeah, she deserved such a break.
I know, justice for Sophi.
This was such a good episode for her.
All right, well, we have the tribe swap. Basically, it seems like Alex and Sophi get separated. Alex stays on blue. Sophi B goes to yellow. However, it really ends up being a very even tribe swap. Not even, I guess, because it could have been more even. But the fact there's 4 original red on the new yellow and 4 original yellow on the new blue. And there's like 2 oddballs from the yellow and red tribes on their respective tribes. So it's almost like we were looking for the tribe swap and we kind of got the same story playing out on both tribes because of how the tribe swap went. It would have almost been more interesting to have a 3-3. I know there's nothing to do about that. To have 3-3 on both tribes plus Sophi B and Alex. So, I mean, there's 7 on both tribes, but it'd been more like, okay, who does Sophi B want to align with or who does Alex want to align with? Versus, well, the number's already in this favor, so I guess that's kind of what we're doing. Like Matt nor Jason really stood a chance tonight. Same with Sage and Shannon at the moment. It seems like they don't stand a chance if they go to tribal. What do you got? What do you think, Rebekah?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's interesting because as soon as the tribes, like we saw who was on what tribes, I thought that the blue tribe was doomed, not because of like tribe strength or how I thought they were going to do in challenges, but just in terms of like the people that we've been focusing on so far this season are all on the yellow tribe. Like the yellow tribe seems like the main character tribe at the moment. So yeah, I see what you're saying in terms of like the numbers and everything being sort of predictable, but I thought it was a little bit of a twist where, oh, blue tribe, you know, is suddenly winning and now yellow's going to tribal, and that's not what I thought was going to happen tonight. So yes, there is a little bit of predictability, but also, I don't know, a little bit of twists and turns, a little bit of whatever Jeff said, the uncertainty. There's a little bit of uncertainty tonight, so not as much as Jeff would like us to believe, but a little bit.
Never as much as Jeff wants us to believe. I do like the change of going down to 2 tribes. It's refreshing for once in the new era, for the first time in the new era. For how dangerous the Survivor game supposedly is, they can't do basic dangerous things like do 2 tribes, which actually in my mind creates more. There's more to do here than there was if they just went back, if they stayed at 3 tribes. Like there would have been 3 tribes of, well, they couldn't do it with 14 players. Jeff did say though, no matter what, at 14 we were doing this. And I'm like, shoot, you're going to wait till episode 5 to do this?
He said that they had the option to do it at 14 players, or it was like on the table, I think is the way he said it.
I think he said like it, no matter what, at 14 players, we were going to swap. This time, 14 players just came earlier. That was what I gathered from it.
Why would they wait till episode 5 to do this? Because as we all know, episode 6, every single New Era season is the Mergatory. So why would they wait until one episode before the Mergatory to do the tribe swap? Like, that's, to me, is nonsense.
Unless they're not going to do the Mergatory this year and they're going to give us a little treat.
And do an actual merge.
They don't like us that much.
My thing is that I feel like with the tribe swap and even the journeys and everything, I feel like so far, I don't want to jinx it, but so far, season 49 is doing everything that we dislike from the New Era. They're doing it slightly better. Like, the journey this season was slightly better than the journeys we've seen in the past. Like, this was probably my favorite journey so far. The tribe swap being 2 tribes instead of 3, slightly better because it is a little different. It's more interesting. So yeah, I don't know if they're going to fully get rid of Mergatory, but I do wonder if they're going to do something slightly better, like maybe change it a little bit. And so I don't know, but that would be awesome if they would. So maybe that had something to do with it. You know, it's going to be a different episode or something like that.
A girl can dream.
Well. Let's go over to, let's first start with the Yellow Tribe. Sophi B, by the way, remember last week, you and I, especially Mass and I, by the way, Mass and I are doing winner analysis again tomorrow here on YouTube and on Patreon. I want to throw out there that Sophi B, we were like, okay, now that her and Alex are going to be, they're going to different tribes, but also how important are they to the story now that they're not going tribal? Well, Sophi B still went to tribal, but I would say even before that, like, they could have really toned her down, and they did not. I feel like I don't have the confessional counter in front of me because we record this like 10 minutes after the episode ends, but I bet you she got double digits again this week. There's no way she didn't. She got so much time.
Yeah, she was featured pretty prominently.
No, I agree. In fact, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I think Sophi B has real main character energy this season, and I don't think that she's winning just based on a few factors. Okay. But I will say, you know, I guess kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but seeing her team up with Savannah and Rizzo, I'm like, these 3 are gonna run this game. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm like speaking too confidently because it is still early. We've only seen Savannah and Rizzo go to tribal once, so I could totally be proven wrong. But like, just seeing the dynamic that the 3 of them have, I'm like, these 3 they seem like the main characters of this season. So to me, that might be why they continue to focus on Sophi B, is because of this team up with the other 2. But again, yeah, we'll see. I could totally be wrong, but that's just kind of my gut feeling right now of where we're going.
Right. And I'm not saying that I am interested to hear why you think Sophi B won't win. But I just, you know, they could have toned her down in favor of like giving Nate, Jawan, giving anybody on the Yellow Tribe more. And it's almost like we got the same kind of focus despite the fact that there are 6 other people in her tribe we could be hearing from, and yet still Sophi B's the one we hear from the most. And yeah, sure, she's the one on the outs, but like over on the other tribe where Alex is, Alex didn't get like a bunch more focus than everybody else. If anything, he was toned down this episode for once.
I was interested that it seemed like like you guys were saying, the 3 like main characters of the season, Savannah, Rizgod, I know we don't say Rizzo here, Rizgod, and
That's
Sophi,
right.
they were all I got you, Wesley. They were all like played up in this episode. None of them were toned down at all. And I think that tells us a lot about kind of where the story is pushing us and where that narrative is pushing the season.
Yeah, I would say Alex was a main character. I mean, not the thing is, Rizgod had, I think, 1 confessional in the second episode. So if we're being real, like, our bias is a bit colored by the fact that we do know 2 people are coming back for 50, which I'm trying to reserve for our winner analysis section. But like, at this point, I feel like everybody kind of knows this. I assumed everybody kind of knew it anyways by now, but just want to throw out there 2 people are coming back for 50 from this season. And I think our bias is a bit like, because Riz got 1 confessional in the second episode, but Alex, like, up through this, I don't know what he had this week. I'm sure he had a few, but did anyone get skunked this week? That's the big question. I was like, I was white. And by the way, Christina did get 1 this week. She stopped her streak there, Rebekah. She had 2 the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, Christina got her whole backstory.
Yeah,
we got a sob story from her tonight.
With photos and everything.
They had to make up for the double skunk, man. Double skunk. Anyways, so yeah, we're over on the Yellow Tribe, and basically they're like, it's clearly going to be Matt or Jason. And if I was Jason, I know they haven't gone tribal yet, but if I was Jason, like, I mean, like, yeah, you can talk positively, but I feel like in the past, the successful strategy we've seen is to be like, that was my old tribe, this is my new tribe. Like, even if people don't believe that at face value, You know, like you got to say it. You got to be like, that's old news. Like, I'm not with them anymore. Clearly, I'm here.
Play the game.
Right. And it'd be like, well, yeah, I really, yeah. It's like, Savannah's like, your heart's with the Yellow Tribe. She knows.
Yeah.
She's not an idiot.
I think Jason is sort of suffering from the fact that he hasn't had to really play Survivor yet. I think that he has good intentions, but he's like not aware of how he's coming off to people because he's been in such a kumbaya tribe up to this point. Because like, yeah, even just his comment that he made about, oh, I might, I'm going to play my shot in the dark. I think to him, he's thinking, oh, that's going to disarm me a little bit because, I don't have a vote, so then I'm less of a threat. But in reality, Savannah took that as, okay, well, you don't want to vote for Matt and you're like you don't want to game with me. You're just going to throw away your vote, basically. So like, yeah, I think he has good intentions, but I don't think he understands how he's coming across. And it's put him in a really unfortunate spot. I don't know how he comes back from this unless they win immunities until the merge or there's another tribe swap or something.
To be fair, Savannah takes almost everything as a big mistake / red flag. So we're going to get to that. But that's like, I can't blame Jason for saying something that made Savannah go, this is a red flag. So let's go over to the new blue tribe. I think I'm getting that right. And we get the comparison between Shannon and Sage. Shannon's like, hi, everybody. I'm a nice lady. Have you ever met a neat lady before? I like to be chill and be calm. People are like, Shannon, she's nice. Sage is like, all right, let's just get this out there. I collect blackheads, people. And they're like, what does that mean? She's like, I collect them like in jars. Katie, tell me what you think about this approach.
I think it's really unique. I think authenticity is key, as people would say on TikTok, and Sage is being her most authentic self. And good on her for that.
Let me ask you, Katie, is there any such thing as being too authentic?
In Sage's case, she's just I think this is just who she is. She's just like so open. And I think on Survivor, Survivor, sometimes you may need to dial things back a bit, but I don't know. I think Sage is one of the best character casting decisions made since Philip Shepard. So I love her. Yes, I think she's hilarious.
Nope, you can't stop there. Go on. Why?
The girl says she puts blackheads in a jar, and you're not laughing. Like this is just like, you can't. I think it's hilarious. You can't make this stuff up. She is like so unique of a person that it's like she had to be on some sort of reality TV. And I'm happy she's on Survivor. So,
but blackheads in a jar, like how does that?
Yeah, it's gross. I'll give you that.
In your home, in a place where I sleep. I don't know, man. Like I've seen a lot of gross stuff. I was in the Navy for 7 years. I've seen a lot of gross stuff. And even I have never heard of or seen somebody. And I know she said this in her preseason press.
That's where you draw the line.
Like, that's preseason press. Right. Like you just don't lead with that. You don't lead with this. This is information that comes out after somebody already knows you. And they're like, well, I have a good first impression of you. That's a little weird, huh? But like, this is now their first impression of you. This is now like 5 different people.
Some people like leading with that quirky personality, though. I think she's just kind of quirky and she likes leading with it so that everybody knows already she's quirky.
Oh, hey, news alert. News alert. You ready for this, Rebekah? We talked about this, I think, last season. We were waiting for the day that the On Fire podcast finally does their shortest podcast under 30 minutes. And today is the day they finally did it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Today they went 29 minutes and 42 seconds. That's their shortest podcast ever.
Whoa.
Their first season, every podcast is like 45 to 50 minutes.
That's like one rabbit trail for us. 29 minutes? That's crazy.
I mean, we're already 3 hours into recording, so.
Yeah, you're going to have to cut this down a lot.
A lot. Hopefully I'll get it down to about 20 minutes right now, but it'll probably be, I don't know. All right. So anyways, we get this comparison of Shannon versus Sage. And I got to say, like, based on everything we've seen so far, I know in this situation, like Shannon did the better job of presenting herself. They're both just different shades of weird. And I guess everybody in the entire world is their own shade of weird. But the way Survivors presented it, these two stand out. And it's funny that they were the two separated from the Red tribe, because everybody else in Red is like fair. I mean, Rizgod doesn't call himself Rizgod. Everybody else is like fairly normal as far as you can take normal in the new era casting.
Yeah, Blue is like our character tribe now.
Sage and Shannon going to this tribe, right? It's just like it's a I don't know. So it's really curious because it's like next week. I know next week in Survivor's like Sage versus Shannon. It's like who's gonna win? And it's like I don't know. Is Sage gonna do something crazy that makes people go, well, we got to get rid of Shannon? You're like, what does Sage got up her sleeve? Is she gonna go around popping their blackheads while they're sleeping?
Right. I mean, I think honestly, like just gauging everyone's reactions, because I get what you're saying is that both of them are pretty strong personalities and they're both kind of, weird in their own way. But I think like if you look at how people responded, I mean, Steven was the only one who really we heard say positive things about Sage and like, she's kind of an odd duck. I'm kind of an odd duck. Like, cool, we might get along. But we heard from multiple people that they liked Shannon. We heard from Christina. I forget who else, but there were like multiple people that were like, you know, really like, oh yes, like I'm on the same page as you. I think MC said something about like, yes, the spirituality or whatever, like they're very much on the same page with her. So I think that there's maybe more people who are connecting with Shannon in her specific brand of, you know, big personality. So it might get to be too much at some point, but I think right now, if the tribe had to pick between Sage and Savannah, from what we've seen, it seems like Sage would be on the outs. And that might put Steven on the outs too, which would be kind of interesting.
And Sage was throwing out there that Savannah, or Sage, there's a lot of S's here. Sage is throwing out that Shannon has been pushing her faith more. And this is the first time I feel like all season I've heard that Shannon is a Christian. And I am not one to say yes or no either way, but I will say that is not the vibe I got through 4 episodes, was whether she's a Christian or not. It was a little weird.
I think she's said a few different things.
Yeah.
Because she's talked about like Mother Earth. She's talked about Jesus.
Right.
Like, I think she's talked about a few different things. So
it reminds me of Coach, where Coach mixes other things in and says it's Christianity. And that's kind of like what I'm getting from Shannon. Now, I cannot say definitively, this is an edited show, the Survivor. I mean, in this podcast, we've recorded 6 hours now.
So much.
But I cannot, so much so far. But I can't definitively say yes or no. But I am saying that so far it's like that was not what I was getting. And then like to have this set's like, really? Well, Christina, I believe what I was gathering is a Christian. That's why Shannon was pushing it more. I believe Sophi B is Catholic. I could be wrong, because she did the what's it called, where you put your hand, you do like
she
top, right, left,
like crossed herself.
Yeah.
She crossed herself, and
the sign
and
of the cross.
She has the cross earrings in, so like there's like signs of other people, but it sounded like Sage, like, I'm not judging, but it does seem like Shannon's talking about things that appeal to people in this tribe more. And it's like, oh, interesting. So maybe Shannon's adapting to who's on her tribe to fit in, which I will say is Survivor 101.
And I will say too, I think it's interesting to think about, because Shannon, I believe this is fairly recently, posted a TikTok talking about how she was throwing away like her spiritual kind of witchy stuff and was like fully becoming a Christian and a follower of Jesus Christ. So I wonder if being on this tribe maybe pushed her to that direction, because like you were saying before, she was saying like the universe, Mother Earth, Jesus, whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in, you know, that's how she was kind of guiding her meditations, I think. And then she really started playing up the Christianity on this tribe, I think. And I wonder if that maybe pushed her down that road a little.
Like talking to somebody who's an actual Christian, that like as far as we know.
Same.
Again, as far as I know from what I've seen. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get too down that rabbit hole, because like, again, I am not talked to Shannon enough. Like, I feel like after watching 3 seasons of Coach, like by the end of the 3rd season with Coach, I'm like, the dude's running a cult. And I'm like, okay, I can definitively say that, like, while he may think this, he is not this. Whereas with Shannon, I'm like, 4 episodes is not enough evidence. All right, so we're on the yellow tribe, and Savannah and Rizgod sitting in the hammocks are like, we love taking heat
complete villain energy.
Yes, we need more villains in the new era.
Right. I love that. So, by the way, that like, so we said this, like episode 1 was called Act 1 of a horror movie. It's like the only person presented in episode 1 as the potential killer / murderer / monster is Savannah. Now that doesn't mean that I mean, we've seen a monster in Survivor before. Look at Russell Hantz, like the most notorious, like putting like a monster in a season. But then you get like Tony and Kagayan. Tony on Kagayan says they made a mistake casting me. He says when they cast me, they put a shark into a pool of minnows. He's like, these people don't stand a chance. And it's like Tony was a fun villain. Russell Hantz, while a lot of people do like him, was definitely more mean-spirited. Savannah so far, I'm kind of like in the middle on whether she's like at times a little fun, but then like other times I'm like, no, Savannah's a little like mean, dude. Like they're edited, like it's all edited. Like it could be making her look meaner. I don't know. Is this just me, Rebekah?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, and this is just a new era thing, but I feel like it's all talk.
And it's not because the hammocks, by the way, I'm saying this. I got to throw it out there. It's not because the hammocks.
Yes, I understand. I think like, honestly, from her so far, it's all talk. Like we haven't seen her do anything crazy. So like, yeah, maybe, I don't know, like she's a little villainous, but I'll be honest, I want her to be a little more villainous. Like I want her to do something a little crazy. Like the shoe thief thing that Jake was doing was like, I don't know, a little, I don't know if I want to say, yeah, like it wasn't the craziest thing we've seen on Survivor, but I want something like that from Savannah before I'm like ready to really call her a villain, if that makes sense. Like I want her to go do something that's just like annoying to people for no reason or like blindside somebody or something, you know?
I agree. She's giving villain vibes, but like villain vibes is a very low bar in the new era.
Yes, exactly. Yep, that's a great way to say it.
When Rome is like the biggest villain outright in the entire new era. And while I like Rome, I will say that like through 9 seasons of the new era, he is I mean, some people might say Shan, I guess, but like, I don't know. That's more of a matter of perception in my mind. Like Rome was like the only person there, like actively like trying to be a villain on purpose. And I get that energy from Savannah, but I almost like wonder like, maybe this is just how Savannah is. Maybe Savannah's natural. I mean, I know other people have said D is as well. Again, was D like actively trying to be a villain? I can't say that. Rome definitely was, but
yeah,
Savannah's got the energy of the villain.
And I feel like, I mean, like, okay, not to like bring gender into it, but I'm going to. Like, I feel like sometimes when women are just like direct and like say what they want, like sometimes people kind of perceive that as them being a villain. And I mean, like Survivor is a game of perception, so like that's definitely a factor that people need to consider. So like, yeah, but I'm just like, I don't know, when you say Dee's a villain, I'm like, what did Dee do that was so villainous? Like, I don't know. I think she
did Austin.
Sure, but like she's just a strong personality. Like she's just doing, you know, what she needed to do to get to the end of the game. And like, yeah, maybe manipulating people's feelings a little bit, but it's like, that's what we do on Survivor. So I don't know. I mean, like, I see what you're saying, but I don't know if I would qualify her as a villain. I don't know if I would qualify Savannah as a villain yet, but I would love to see her do some villainous things.
Austin, remember Austin was like, we're like the next boss, Robin Amber. I love you. And Dee's like, yeah, he's like a flirt thing, I guess. And like, that was that was happening. So another thing I wrote down, and I want to make sure I heard this correctly. Katie, correct me if I'm wrong. I wrote down that, okay, so Sophi B is talking to Savannah. Sophi B's like, I want to be a puppy that you take the final 3 and like, All right, so I got that. And then Savannah says, Sophi B looks like someone I would see at home and hang out with. Therefore, I trust her. Was that a correct interpretation or was that just me?
I do think that was that is what I got from that conversation as well.
I think she was also talking about vibes though. Like she was also saying like, she seems like the type of person I would want to hang out with. Yeah, like she's someone that she reminds me of my friends at home, like how we would hang out and like have a glass of wine and just have our girls' night. Like I feel comfortable with her because she reminds me of like my girls at girls' night, I think is what I got from that.
Hey, I'm glad to be corrected because what I heard was that she looks like somebody I hang out with, therefore she's okay. And I was like, am I mishearing this? Was this put on the show? Because I feel like they wouldn't put that there. So it's just sexism. It's nothing else. Did you notice that at the immunity challenge, Jeff put down the male idol and left the... Yeah, because the female one has been first place this whole season. Right. Is that Survivor hinting us to who's going to win? They're like, hey, first place is a woman. They pull out. Second place is a man. They bring Genevieve out and she sees into the future of who's going to win this season. And then they design everything for this season around it.
No, because Genevieve, when she has her third eye and she sees conversations that she wasn't there for.
She was not there for, no. She's like, what about Genevieve? She's like, what? Why did Keyshawn say that?
I gotta go for Keyshawn. He's gonna get me.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
Okay, well, anyways, just throwing out there, winner hint, doubtful.
Yeah.
But I did think it was interesting nonetheless. Okay, so Savannah recognizes Jason is in love with Hina. We kind of talked about that already. Steve and Alex are not really into, now this isn't really focused on, but I saw it because when Shannon did meditation with the original Red Tribe, we saw Savannah wasn't into it. Like, even though Savannah was aligned with Shannon, she was really into the meditation. To me, I noted that Steven and Alex were not really into the meditation with Shannon. Yeah,
Steven says that Shannon was like a shark in like a yoga's body. Didn't he say something like that?
Yeah. In a guru's body, yeah.
Which is pretty strong, considering that Shannon has shown nothing, in my mind, of being a shark.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big assumption.
Steven really heard Sage's introduction, and he was like, all right, I'm on Sage's side. Shannon sucks. I'm going to find a reason.
Savannah's, so she talks to Jason. He's in love with Hina. Talks to Matt. Matt is like, oh, yeah, I work at the airport. And she's like, oh, for how long? He's like, 11 years. She's like, what'd you do before that? And he's like, well, I wasn't going to tell anybody. I was waiting for like a Gary Hogaboom reveal. Like, I was a pro NFL quarterback. I made millions and millions of dollars. Right. I was waiting for like some big reveal.
Did I miss something preseason?
Right. He built it up so much. And it's just like he worked in finance and he was, I guess, pretty high up, whatever that means.
Because in her eyes, you don't get that high up without being a sociopath.
You can't do that. You literally are not allowed to do that job without being a sociopath. And like, she tells Joanne's like, yeah. And she's like, no, I'm serious. Joanne's like, what?
Yeah.
That conversation was so funny.
Was so funny. Yes. Yeah.
Savannah, ex-news reporter, she's like, I know. I talk to people finance. All sociopaths. Every one of them. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, and also notice she credited her interviewing skills for getting that information out of him. So that's how she got information that's going to help her move ahead in the game.
Any Tom, Dick, and Harry could have asked, what did you do before the airport?
But
she used her interview skills. No one else had asked him up to this point.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm naturally like, if I'm sitting on an island with people, I guess I'm just going to want to know everything. I'm surprised nobody had asked him, I guess, to give her credit.
I'm shocked, actually. I guess they have less days now, but still.
I mean, truly. We talked about how last week, like, the episode all took place within 1 day from the time
that is so bizarre
Jake
to me.
Bit through tribal council. Well, when you realize that everything's like 1 minute from Jeff's house, it makes more sense, but...
Yeah. Well, I also wonder how much of this plays into, because again, we've talked about it before, how Matt was like immediately on the outs of his tribe. So like, I truly wonder if, that's just a symptom of that, where like people weren't really talking to him as much and like asking him as many questions. So who knows?
Christina gets a legit sob story about her mom, and we get pictures, we get crying, we get strong emotions. I at first was like, sob story. But then I heard how close she was to her mom, and I don't know. I'll let it slide. It's the only one all season so far, and they've been really good since 47 about not putting it in a lot of the episodes. Like, I feel like 47 had like 1. I think Teeny and Kyle, so 2. And then 48, they did one I don't remember top of my head. So like, I'll let it slide. What'd you think about it there, Rebekah?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a sucker for sob stories. Like, I'll be honest, they almost always make me cry. Like that one time when Charlie was talking about listening to Taylor Swift on the train to like, I don't know, something about like getting a law degree or something. That one really made me tear up. But no, I mean, this was really...
Remember when Xander was fat in middle school and then he just grew up and stopped being fat? That was amazing.
And then he ran track.
They were really pulling for something. Like, Xander, give us something. It's the new thing we're doing. He's like, well, I guess I was fat in middle school a little bit.
They're like, perfect, we'll run with it.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
Wow.
No, but I mean, I will say, I think this one I'm more okay with, because I think it was important to the story, because it showed how much like Christina and Shannon are connecting over like this story that Christina is sharing with her. So they didn't have to do it as a sob story, but I'm okay with it, because it, it does make it more emotional to like see the photos and, everything. So I'm okay with it. I don't think it needed to be a sob story, but I do think it's part of an important part of the storytelling, because I think the Christina-Shannon relationship is going to be more important once they go to Tribal. But who knows? We'll find out. Could be wrong.
All right, well, we move on to the immunity challenge. Now, before we talk about the actual challenge, I do want to mention that Jeff reveals that there's also a reward to go with this challenge. And he reveals it. It's a bunch of fruit. And Sophie S., he's like, Sophie S., please blow smoke up Survivor's butt about how amazed you are about this spread of food.
She had
and
one
Sophie S.
job.
goes like, Sophie S. like, well, I know I'm already on the show, so you can't kick me off. Let me express my true emotion. And my true emotion is that this is disappointing. And Jeff's like, well, that's not what you're looking for, Sophie S. But they left it in the show.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I feel like they're setting Sophie S. up as like, I don't know. I think they're kind of dunking on her a little bit because she said earlier, like she said something earlier about like that, oh, we've been eating crab and fish. And like now that they're on the blue like tribe camp, she's like, oh, I can't eat worms. Like, what are we doing here? Like, she's had such a Survivor vacation up to this point. So I think they're kind of dunking on her a little bit.
That comment made me laugh. I think that they are dunking on Sophie like constantly, like her entire content tonight being about not wanting to eat worms and then not wanting to eat the fruit either. It's like, it's like,
what do you want?
What? For real. Like, I don't know. She's the purple Sophie of the season. And I would be honestly, that's like my biggest fear, getting on Survivor and then not being able, like having no confessionals or like, I'm just seen talking about food and that I hate fruit because that's diet food.
Two other thoughts when she said this. One is, what if she had attended the sanctuary visit in season 47 when they got one dry hot dog? I would have loved to have heard her thoughts on that.
I would have paid money to see that moment.
She's like, one dry hot dog? That's not enough carbs.
Condiments.
No condiments.
Also,
nothing. What is this?
Dry hot dog just sounds so gross.
It's just one dry hot dog.
Ugh.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants a dry hot dog.
They had a vegan hot dog for Kyle or somebody, didn't they?
Yeah, he got a vegan dog.
I like my hot dogs wet and slippery with ketchup, mustard, and relish. Don't give me a dry hot dog.
Liz would have freaked out.
The sanctuary where boring things happen.
Where boring things happen. The other thing, I had another one. I kind of want her take on every single reward from now through the end of the season as well. I kind of hope she makes
Absolutely. When is she dropping a podcast? That's what I want to hear.
The Sophie S. analyzes the rewards on Survivor podcast.
This might need to be the inside joke of the season. Just every time a reward happens, well, what would Sophie think?
A Survivor foodie podcast.
Yeah.
I'm almost surprised, Rebekah, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, but I think Jeff stopped doing this in New Era as far as I've heard in behind the scenes podcast. Though I will say that CBS cracked down hard after 42 on the behind the scenes podcast. So who knows the truth? That Jeff didn't say, cut the cameras. Sophie S., how dare you criticize this show? Because people who are asking me, like, what are you talking about? Well, pre-40, I heard multiple interviews, especially on Rob as a podcast, where people said, oh, yeah, Jeff, when he was angry with you, didn't like the answer you gave him to a question, would cut the cameras and then get upset with you / yell at you. And then they would turn the cameras back on and Jeff would ask you the question again. And Rebekah, you and I joked that we'd be crying. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
Uncle Jeff.
I'll give you an analogy, I promise.
I haven't heard a single interview post 40 where anybody says this. However, once Omer dropped the bombshell about Drea and how on Ponderosa, the thing she said there, CBS cracked down hard on any interviews. They're like actively like what I think exit interviews they're already present for, by the way. I already knew that. Like they're watching those as they're happening to make sure nothing gets said that's not supposed to be said. But also, I think they crack down hard on post game interviews after the season's done. So like to hear anything like that is probably like, if it happened, I won't even know. But I'm surprised this is a moment where just like, turn off the cameras. Kids, plug your ears. I gotta talk to Sophie. Yes.
He like pulls her aside. They like go off, but they're like
Mind
standing
your
on the
elder,
beach. Like
Sophie.
everyone can still see them.
Kind of like when we talked to Rome, we're like, Rome, what happens if you have to poop and the challenge is about to happen? And remember, Rome was not willing to, like, he was like, well, you know, you just go poop, I guess. And
He did not think that bit was funny. You know who would think that bit is funny is Sage. We should get her on the podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Sage would be perfect for your podcast.
Sage, we gotta get her on a 50 podcast bit. Sage.
There
All
you
right.
go.
So I'm
Yes.
assuming you had to
Write
poop at
that
some
down.
point now. Yeah, write that down. I will say that this immunity challenge, speaking of bowel movements, at this immunity challenge site, when I went to Fiji this past summer, this is the only immunity challenge site that I can recall actually going to the bathroom at, behind the platform that Jeff was standing on. I didn't go number 2. It was just number 1, because we are in the middle of nowhere and the bathroom was quite a ways walk from there. I didn't have a golf cart
45-minute
like
boat
Jeff.
Ride. Yeah.
45-minute boat ride to get to the porta potty or whatever.
That should be one of the jokes this season is a 45-minute boat ride.
It's funny how Jeff brought them there to do a tribe swap so they could take a 45-minute boat ride back.
Yes.
Jeff's like,
you're
it took
so
me a
right. I
minute to
didn't
get
even
here.
think about that. That's so funny.
Jeff's like, everyone come here to where I am, a minute away from where I sleep.
We're going to prank you.
Pranked, bro. You got pranked.
Here's a fake challenge we set up. That's so funny.
And you know Jeff didn't set up the challenge. He's like, you guys are going to set up a fake challenge. I'm going to wake up.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
That's
Anyway,
so
so
good.
tell us about this immunity challenge, Rebekah.
Yes. Okay. So for this challenge, everybody starts off in the ocean. And so we're in tribes of 7. So 5 tribe members on each tribe will swim/walk through the ocean, pulling a boat that has the 2 other tribe members in the boat. And as they go along, they come to these platforms. The 2 people in the boat grab some cubes off of the platform. Once they get to the beach, 1 tribe member has to carry 10 small cubes across a balance beam. They can take as many trips as they want, but they just have to get all 10 of them across. And then everyone else then takes the 10 large cubes and uses a beam to transport them across the balance beam. But there's like 2 of them, so people are on either side. And then once they get to the end, stack them all real tall, and the first to finish wins.
I really like that this didn't end in a
Me
puzzle.
too.
Yeah.
I love the different ways of ending challenges, like that puzzle stacking. I freaking love it. Or the challenge where it's the blocks and they have different colors on each side and they have to get them all. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but anyway, the different ways to end those more I guess not, those wouldn't be called endurance challenges, but the different staged challenges. Oh my gosh. I just pray to sweet baby Jesus every single time when it happens. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I pray to Taylor Swift and Mother Earth.
No, yeah, I echo what Katie said. I just really like this one. I think that this was exciting. There were twists and turns. Different tribes were ahead at different times, so that was exciting. I liked the different strategies of like, how do you stack people on top of each other to like get up to the top of this? Nate is just crazy tall and just threw like 4 of them up at once, so he definitely got his tribe ahead, or helped them like catch up. So yeah, it was just an exciting challenge. And honestly, like, there were multiple times I was like, oh, well, yellow's definitely winning. Oh, blue's definitely winning. So it was just very exciting to watch. I had a good time.
I agree. And it's fun to see more than like 2 people at the final stage of the challenge, because usually it like comes down to the 2 puzzle makers. It's nice that it comes down to the entire group, you know?
Yes, that's such a good point. Yeah.
Can we go back to team challenges ending with the team doing something?
Please.
Right. Not putting a puzzle together either. I mean, like, I remember like they've done ones where like the entire team, and by the way, this ending they've done before. This is not the first time ever, but it is so refreshing because it's been so long.
It has been a while.
I would love a team challenge where the team has to work together to accomplish the team task of winning immunity, instead of it being like 2 people and like, like stop it. Like, if you want to start a challenge, middle challenge, but as you said, like we got segments, but like end the challenge with the team doing a task. I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Well, because this challenge
so
did
much more
have an
fun.
individual section of the individual who had to carry the small cubes across the balance beam. And I'm
And
okay
that's
with that.
fine.
Like, I mean, yeah, we saw Matt really struggle with that. And I don't think that ultimately was the reason that he went home. But like, yeah, you're creating those situations where people have to put themselves in sort of that hero role, but it's not at the very end of the challenge. So yeah, I was a big fan of this one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
By the way, Jason didn't say it once, and to me, if he did say it wasn't in the show, to me, it's naive to not throw this out there. Be like, guys, like we're not merging next episode or next week, whatever, next day. I am really good at puzzles. Undoubtedly, in the new era, next time we go to a Immune Challenge, it's gonna be a puzzle. I will win it for us. Like that would be my pitch to my tribe. Be
yeah.
like, I will win us the puzzle next time. And you know, worst case scenario is they lose it. Jason loses it. It's like, well, you're going to go home anyways. But at least,
Right.
you know, like, sure, he survived it this week, but it didn't feel like Jason survived it because of his own social skills. He survived it because Matt, in my opinion, talked his way out of this game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It wasn't even supposed to be Matt. It was supposed to be Jason.
Yeah.
As my
Savannah
understanding.
decided it was going to be Matt instead.
Savannah decided. She
That's
sure
what
did.
that's what it looked like to us.
Yeah,
Yep.
Savannah. So Rizgod. So we go to camp. Rizgod tells Sophi B about his beware advantage. Again, like basically everybody and their mother knows about this thing. Savannah finds the map of the water well. Mary, as we're watching, it's like, oh, now it's Savannah. So I'm like, no, it's not that. Like, yeah, yes, but that's not how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
So Rizgod ends up this. Did I blank? Rizgod finds the idol, right?
No,
he finds it in the box. He finds in the box in the ocean, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he has the
Yeah.
map
He found
that
the
tells
chest,
him where
yeah.
the treasure chest is. Yeah.
because
Yeah, they
Savannah
dug up
it
the
up for him.
clue. You're right.
I will
Those
say
water
though,
wells, by the way, you could knock over if you wanted to. They're not buried in the ground. Not that you
Oh.
would do that, but you could
Interesting.
if you wanted
Yeah.
to. Not that you should, because you will lose your water supply. That's not like a
oh,
well
that would
in
be
the.
devastating.
There's not a well 15 feet away from the ocean to clean
Sure.
to clean river water. I just want to throw
No,
out
that makes
there.
sense. I will say though, I understand the confusion about like him finding the idol because the idol was in a tube that looked exactly the same as the map, like the tube
Right.
that the map was in. So I
With
was
the
confused
key.
about that for a second.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we
Yeah.
really saw the idol, but he said
that's what I was
like,
blanking, yeah.
"Oh, cool, I got it." But yeah,
Did we
it
even? I don't
wasn't-
even think we got a confessional with him like showing the idol. Am I blanking?
I don't
Maybe
think so
it
because
got ruined in the ocean with all the seawater, and they're like, "Oh, we'll get your replacement, Rizgod. Just hang on.
well,
We'll have Jake medevac it in."
You don't need it tonight anyway.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I think like that's the big thing to me. It seems like the show is focusing so much on like, I think Savannah even said it at some point, like, I don't care about this idol. I just need to get Rizgod's vote back.
Yes.
Like,
Right.
I think that's more the focus of like, his vote was way more
Completely.
important than this idol is because everyone knows he has an idol. So like,
She
it's
said
not
like
really
we're
that
in this as a
important.
team. It was really emphasized that
Yes.
this is a team thing.
Exactly. Yep.
Dude, and so Rizgod gets the idol. The moment Matt, he's like, "I want to blindside Nate," and I'm like, "Oh my god, why would you, out of everybody here, push
Yeah.
for Sophi B, right? Or push for Jason is a little risky because they could be like, well, if you're gonna betray Jason, you'll betray me. But like, you should be pushing for Sophi B. Like, what is this Nate thing? Nate, really? Come on now. Doesn't he know that Nate was a PA on Spider-Man 2 in 2004? Jawan is excited by that, okay? Also, I had multiple people this past week be like, actually, Nate lied about that. He was a producer. No, Nate, I looked this up, by the way, because IMDb, as you know, Rebekah, thankfully tells you
Yeah.
everything about your career. Nate became a producer in 2014, 10 years after Spider-Man 2. I am led to believe that there's no reason for Nate to lie about being a production assistant on Spider-Man 2 in 2004, which is 21 years ago. There's no reason for me to think that was the lie. No, Nate's not going to play up what he does, how well he's doing now. That's why he talked about his production assistant in 2004.
Right. Because that's, I think what he said in the confessional is like, oh yeah, I'm telling everybody I was a PA because I was, but like they don't know that now I'm a producer and I've produced such excellent cinema films such as Ant-Man and what was the other one? Like
Captain America,
Black Panther or
Black
something.
Panther.
Marvel movies, yeah.
Which like Black Panther was really good, so no shade. But like, yeah, I don't know, the way he said it was funny. Anyway.
Nate's like, I know, just when people said, I'm like, I don't know how old Nate is now, but I'm pretty sure he was like early to mid 20s in 2004. Like I don't know exactly his birth year off the top of my head, but I know he's in his 40s now, and he's not 50. So like 21 years ago, Nate was not producing Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2.
Right.
It's just like, if you're not in the film industry, that's absurd. Unless Nate was like somebody's son who has a ton of money. Like Nate was not producing Spider-Man 2 by Sam Raimi. Nate was a production assistant. I just thought there's so many comments last week, and I'm like, no, like, dude, like, didn't become a producer until like he earned his way to it. Like 10 years later, he was producing, like 2014. I'm like, good for him. Like now that's what he's doing. He's like a big deal, but like, yeah, like I mean, people were like, no, that was a big lie. And I'm like, that of all the things to lie about. All right. So yeah, he gets his vote back. Matt wants to blindside Nate. I'm like, ugh. Matt does get, I mean, then my notes just jump. Matt wants to blindside Nate, might be playing his way out of the game. Next comment I wrote, Matt voted out. So clearly, I guess nothing happened in between those two things that was important. Was I missing something?
I mean, there was a lot of back and forth, but ultimately, yeah, I think you're right. Matt just kind of talked his way out of the game. Even because he did pitch Sophie at some point, but even then he's like pitching to Savannah and Rizgod, and we've already seen how tight they are with Sophi B. So like we as the audience know this is a bad pitch. It's not going to go anywhere. But yeah, what did you think, Katie?
It's a big mistake.
Yeah, I think he kind of mentioned that he was just pitching Sophie as like the red herring, and he was really going for Nate. I don't know. I thought it was I don't know, kind of sweet. He was like, oh, Nate's in a leadership role, and if I blindside him, we're going to change the game. I'm like, oh, okay, Matt. Okay.
Yeah. That's sweet. That's cute.
That's cute.
Did we have any good analogies? Good being strong, a word. Any good analogies at Tribal? Anything good? I mean, like Tribal was just, to me, was a lot of nothing.
Sophie just used her puppy dog, her lost puppy analogy again. I was like, we already heard this. It's not even a new analogy.
I think Jawan had an analogy towards the end there, but I just tune him out now.
Yeah.
Jawan and Savannah had the moment of the night for me, though, when Savannah's like, finance people are sociopaths. And Jawan's like thinking this is a joke. And she's like, no, they really are sociopaths.
No, for
all of them.
Yeah. All of them. He's like, what?
He's like, oh no, I lied about being in finance. Can you imagine?
I thought it was interesting though that we saw after Matt was voted off, we saw like a very quick clip of like Savannah comforting Jason and Jason saying like, thank you. You know, I know this isn't the winner analysis podcast, but maybe something to note.
We're getting to that section later. Don't worry.
Okay.
Later. All right. Yeah, Matt's voted off. Next week, they kind of propose maybe Jawan, but like that to me is like out of nowhere. If that's true, Jawan needs to really do something to have a target on his back.
Well, I will say we did get the one comment from Savannah that we didn't talk about where, you know, Jawan comes to her and like says, hey, this is what Matt's like trying to do. And one of the things that Matt had said to him was, hey, Jawan, you're kind of on the bottom of your tribe. And then we go to Savannah confessional and she's like, well, that's kind of true. However, we're still going to vote Matt out. Like, we're not going to vote for Jawan right now. So again, I like you said, are they going to vote Jawan out next week? Maybe not.
Doubt.
Probably not.
Press
I mean,
X.
They still have Jason. So like, I don't see why they would vote Jawan out before Jason. But yeah, we did get a little bit of a setup from Savannah about that.
The real battle, the true battle that was the very next thing where it says Sage versus Shannon. I'm like, that I believe.
Yes.
But like Jawan, really, like this feels like a red herring.
Yeah.
Like it's the Sage versus Shannon makes way more sense to me. So, well, before we move on to the next section of the podcast, I'm gonna throw this out there. We do have another guest next week. Rebekah, you already know who it is. Katie, you don't. So I'm gonna give you a hint. Katie, you'll see if you can guess who it is. This person made a move still talked about to this day where they gave away immunity to Natalie.
You're kidding.
Who is it, Katie?
You're kidding. Yeah, Sierra.
Why would I joke about
you
that?
Have Sierra Easton on your podcast next week?
Yes, yeah. Sierra Easton gave away immunity to Natalie. Correct. Nailed it.
You guys, you got Eric? Are you kidding?
Yeah.
What
Eric
a get.
I asked him. He said yes. He's like, as long as we can do it after 9 o'clock. And I was like, well, the episode ends at 9:30. He's like, perfect. And I was like, all right.
Is he going to come into this like he's not going to watch the episode beforehand? He's just going to podcast with us? That would be awesome.
He makes, if you follow him on Instagram or anywhere else, Dabu Doodles, he made the logo for this channel. I say it every time I talk about him because he did make the logo for this channel. Give him mad credit. I did pay him for it, but he made it. However, he makes comics every week about the episode, so he watches the episodes. Maybe he doesn't watch them live. I don't know. We'll find out next week. He'll be like, "Oh, I didn't even watch tonight's episode." I don't know.
I can't wait to hear next week's episode, guys.
Yeah, we'll have to tell him that somebody gave away immunity in next week's episode. What's up?
Every week we need to have Katie send us in a voice clip where she just hypes up next week's episode. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear next week's episode. We'll just put that in.
Yes, that would
every
be
week.
Awesome.
All right, Katie, what do you think about next week's episode? I have like a little sound clip every week. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'll be like, next week we have no guest. Oh my gosh, this is going to be the best episode ever. Thank you, Katie.
It's even better when you guys don't have guests. Your voices just shine through. I love you guys.
I'll be like, Rebekah and I have strep throat, so there will be nobody on the podcast this week. Best episode ever.
It's just an hour and a half of silence.
Nobody there to give bad takes of the podcast. All right.
Oh, man. We still upload a podcast. Okay, sorry, I'll stop. The bit is dead. The bit is dead.
An hour and a half of silence. All right, what's new on Patreon? As always, these podcasts are early and ad-free. You get them the day we record them instead of the day after, which is how it works if you watch them on YouTube. 2 days later if you listen to them on Spotify. Tyson's story video, I just uploaded today. I'm working on the Blood versus Water story video where it covers like the entirety of the twist and like the Redemption Island. It's a big one. Aubrey Bracco's story videos on Patreon and Devin's story videos on Patreon as well, Rick Devins. So some big ones are on there. If you want to support the channel, we did have 30 plus videos taken down over the course of 2 weeks, thanks to copyright, which was no fun. I would say lots of fun, but that's sarcastic. No fun. So yeah, if you could support the channel through Patreon, I would greatly appreciate it. All right, let's move on to winner analysis. Heads up, everybody. We're going to talk about things that Survivor themselves have spoiled with their own decisions. I say this every time, but it's important. So this week, we're going to rank our top 3. Now, Katie, I know you've listened to the podcast before. I do not expect you to have a top 3, but if you want to give us your top 3 as well, you're absolutely free to. Do you have a top 3?
I do. It's probably pretty similar as y'all's, but I do.
Nice.
Well, might be. All right. So let's start with our number 3. Rebekah, who's your number 3?
My number 3 is Sophi B, which, I mean, we talked about it a little bit throughout this podcast. I do feel like she has a lot of main character energy right now, and really has this whole season. I know she's been to every tribal, so this may be a little biased, but we've just focused on her so much this season. Seeing her team up with Savannah and Rizgod is like a very good sign in my opinion. The reason I have her at number 3, though, and the reason I don't think she's winning is that I think, unfortunately, she has too much of an underdog story right now. So I would be surprised if people let her get to the final tribal, just because, like, yeah, you come from a tribe where, like, you get down to 2 players and then you get all the way to the end. Like, the blue tribe.
We've seen this one before.
Yeah, we've seen them be so decimated. And, like, if she comes back from that and gets all the way to the end, like, I think she has a good shot at getting votes. So for that reason, I think she has a good shot of making it far in the game, but I do think that at some point she's going to get cut. But we've just gotten so much focus on her so far this season. I kind of feel like I almost have to put her in my top 3. So that's my reasoning.
Okay, Katie, who's your number 3? Is it Sophi B?
My number 3 is also Sophi B, yes.
So is mine. Wow.
Let's go.
All right.
What a surprise.
So let's read off our 3, 2, 1. All right, you're right. 3, Sophi B. 2, Rizgod. 1, Savannah. Right?
Yep.
Are we on the same
That's
page?
it.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%.
Oh my gosh. This season, dude, they ruined winner analysis.
They
All
really
right.
did.
So Sophi B, reason I have her, I'm with you, Rebekah. I moved MC down and Sophi B up because of this week. I was waiting to see. Now, she did go to tribal, but like they had the opportunity to tone down her main character energy and they chose not to. So whether she makes it to the finale, I mean, at this point, I feel like she's locked for the finale, but I've said that before about people and then they get cut before the finale. So it's like, I'm not Nostradamus here or whatever. Like I can predict the future. Doesn't mean I'm right. But I mean, I thought Sierra was wing 47. Anyways, I mean, up until, and once Sierra went, then I picked Rachel. But anyways, point being is that, yeah, Sophi B, lots of main character energy. Like if she didn't have double digit confessionals tonight, I would be shocked. And while the number is not as important, she immediately integrated. with the red tribe, with the original red people.
And
like,
with who we've
immediately.
been shown to be like kind of the power player, like the top
With
narrative
Savannah.
of the season.
Yeah. No red flags given to Savannah. Savannah's like, you look like somebody I would hang out with, therefore I trust you. So remind me if I ever play on Survivor Savannah to basically, I guess, do a Sophi B cosplay. And that'll be good. I'll be golden,
I would love
dude.
to see you do that, actually. That'd be
Cosplay
amazing.
Sophi B.
It's like Tony's Spy Shack, but like next level, because you're going like full. You've got like hair and makeup,
Full
like
drag.
I don't know how you're gonna maintain that on the island, but yeah, full drag.
Amazing.
One season, and I'm not even a fan of Big Brother, but one season Big Brother did do they've done this, I think, a couple times. One time they did a twin twist where they had like these twins playing and they would swap out the person, like they'd only have one of the twins
What?
in the house.
What?
And they would swap out the twin with the other twin to see if people noticed.
Big Brother
So
is
it's like
so
this one lady,
unserious. I can't. Oh my
and
gosh.
she played Big Brother, and then they'd swap her out with their twin just to see if people had noticed, basically. And then
so
there's
funny.
another season where they had people who were like secretly related to each other. And by secretly, I mean like they didn't know they were related to each other, and they put them in the same house. And like this is early Big Brother, back when they were like going for shock views. Right. And so they put like people who were like did not know they were brother and sister.
You know,
until
if
got
they
in the
brought
house. They
that
found out
Big
on
Brother
national
back,
TV.
I might watch it.
What I'm saying is that they should put somebody undercover on Survivor, not Gary Hogaboom, but like somebody like who's been on the show before.
Oh.
Like the third boot from like a season that nobody's like watched in like 20 years. Like I don't know who the boots of Guatemala were, but you know, like pick somebody from like that era, put them on the show with like undercover boss style with like, I don't know about
That's
wigs,
so
but like,
funny.
you know, like a makeover, be like nobody recognizes. I was the third boot of Survivor Guatemala.
Everybody's like, we wouldn't have recognized you without the makeup. The makeup was suspicious. Where did you get that from?
Yeah, the makeup made me think that you were somebody.
They had to keep sneaking out of the camp every morning to reapply the makeup. They're like, where are you going?
That sounds exhausting. Oh my goodness. That's so
your
funny.
Your face has more Botox than Jeff. Whoa, hey, turn the cameras off. Turn the cameras off.
Oh, cut the
Jeff's out here
cameras.
catching strays. My goodness.
I mean, you can't blame him. He's in his 60s. He has to be TV ready.
I got in big trouble for calling him Grandpa Jeff once on TikTok. Ooh.
No, you gotta call him
Uncle
Daddy
Jeff.
Yeah, you gotta call him Daddy Jeff or Uncle Jeff. Yeah.
Daddy Jeff might go the wrong way. Uncle Jeff. All right. So Sophi B number 3, Rizgod number 2. We got to talk about the elephant in the room. Savannah and Rizgod. Not only, by the way, do we get more of their relationship tonight of them being close, but they're both on 50 and they both seem important as it is anyway. It's not like they're on 50 and they've been like underwhelming. Like, no, they're pretty important so far.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I haven't heard a single person I think talk negatively about either of them through 4
If they
episodes.
did, it would be a big red flag and they'd have to go
Big
home.
red flag.
So, yeah.
It's
Cancel
doesn't have the same
Christmas.
ring as Big Mistake. Yeah, it
No,
doesn't have
you
the
have to
same ring
cancel
as
Christmas.
cancel Christmas. Doesn't have the same ring as Big Mistake, but I mean things are red flags. Like it would have been funny though if Matt was like, I worked in finance. He tells him that, and Sam's like, that's a red flag. And he's like, confessional. He's like, actually, I was a lawyer, but I didn't want to tell him that, so I said I was in finance.
Savannah's like,
another
it would have been
lawyer
better if he
line.
was a lawyer. Smaller
Lawyers
red
are
flag.
finance people, sociopath. Lawyers,
Psychopaths.
no, psychopaths. Yeah, who knows? All right, so Katie, why do you have Rizgod too?
I mean, you know, it to me, I just I go a lot off my gut, and obviously them being on 50 is massive. But like you said, we have not seen anything negative about Rizgod. He got how many confessionals the first episode? I know probably a lot of them was from him doing the not Sweat versus Savvy, whatever that new thing is. But also a lot of stuff we see is him like talking from his perspective. We see he kind of broke down the numbers earlier in the game. And I think him and Savannah, I feel like have had kind of, especially this episode, had kind of like similar edits a little bit. And so I feel pretty good about both of them. I just feel a little bit better about Savannah at this point, which is why Rizgod's my number 2.
What about you, Rebekah?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said. I think my thing with Rizgod is that, like, the reason I have him at number 2 and Savannah at number 1 is because, again, no one said anything bad about him, so I feel really good about having him in my top 3. He does have an idol, but I feel like, I mean, everyone knows about it. I think to me, there's maybe a little bit of, like, a lack of strategy so far that we've seen from him, just in, like, telling everyone about the idol, for example. Not that that's a huge deal. I mean, the idol doesn't seem like that important. Honestly, I think his relationship with Savannah is way more important. But yeah, I feel better about putting Savannah at first just because I feel like even though everything is a red flag, we are hearing a lot more strategy talk from her and her confessionals and everything. So it seems like the edit is kind of tipping towards Savannah. So that's why I have her at number 1 and Rizgod at number 2. But I feel really good about both of them. It's all been positive content so far. We know they're on 50, so yeah, they kind of have to be top 3 for me at this point. What about you, Wesley?
I don't know what I did wrong on Instagram, but all of my suggested reels have been AI videos of historical and figures we all recognize on WWE Raw. So I'm looking at one right now because I was looking for people's questions, then I jumped on Instagram real quick to like see if there's anything there, and I see Abraham Lincoln versus George Washington facing off against each other on WWE Raw. I saw another one where Mr. Rogers from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is turning heel, aka going full villain on WWE Raw. I don't know what I did wrong, but Instagram.
This just reminds me of like back in the day, OG YouTube, when there would be those like princess rap battles. Like you'd see like Cinderella and Belle like doing a rap battle. You know what I'm talking about? Like that's what that reminds me of.
Those rap battles were a big deal, dude, for a long time. And then they kind of died out. Oh, that one main Epic Rap Battles history kind of stopped doing them as often. That didn't help. So anyways, back on topic. Savannah's number 1. We have to consider the big elephant in the room that Survivor should have put her and Rizgod on the same tribe on 50. I mean, they did put 2 46ers on the same tribe. So it's not like bias, or you want to call it. Like there was already uneven tribe as it is in terms of alliances. But the fact they put Savannah on tribe where there's no other winners and Rizgod on tribe with Kyle's like, okay, if Savannah doesn't win, this is a suspicious placement to put her on 50. Because the thing is, Savannah could be like a villainous winner like Sandra. Like Savannah could totally dump the fish out because she's mad about them voting off Rupert, you know? Like that could be Savannah. Savannah be going down that path. Like I can scream too, what the F or whatever. or whatever she said. I can get loud too, what the F, you know?
Yeah.
We could be going the villainous winner route, the anti-hero route, but she needs a villain to go against for that to work like Sandra. And both times Sandra won, there was like a bigger villain than Sandra. Like Sandra was a little villain, but there's a bigger, like Savannah doesn't have that. There's no one around. So at the moment, to me, Savannah, while she hasn't done anything, as you said earlier, Rebekah, necessarily villainous, I'm waiting for someone to rise up for her to go against, because otherwise, am I really rooting for the villain to win the season? Am I supposed to believe that's the storyline? Maybe it is the storyline. The show doesn't have a choice. They're like, it's the new era. What do you want us to do? Cast a villain? Like, not in your life.
Right.
Like, not on purpose. Rome slipped through the cracks. That was an accident. Anyways, so it's like I am waiting for someone to rise up, but like by this point in Pearl Islands, for example, and even on Heroes versus Villains, when we had a villainous winner, like those, we had a bigger villain, and we haven't had like a true straight like winner who was like an anti-hero / villain in a long while, where it's like they're the biggest villain of the season and they won. So I'm kind of wondering, is Savannah really the winner, or are they setting her up to be such a prominent figure that the person who does win beats Savannah?
I kind of wonder if Rizgod's going to be like our hero this season.
Oh, bro. Rizgod's already been my hero. From the moment I heard him was Rizgod.
Wesley, I think you would appreciate this. Every time I type Rizzo in my phone, for some reason, I don't know how this happened.
Autocorrect.
Right? To all capital, not just Rizgod, but all capital, Rizgod, all caps.
That's awesome.
That's the kind of AI videos I want. I want an AI video of Rizgod and Savannah fighting on WWE Raw. Out of all the things they want to show me, like that's what this is showing. So anyways, that's our top 3. It does make winner analysis a little
dull, but at the same time, we could be totally being set up here and
What
assume
if
Savannah wins based on a tribe placement. And it turns out, no, Savannah was the Rick Devens of her season. Even though Rick Devens wasn't a villain, the Rick Devens of her season where they're setting her up to be the one to beat. Because
what if they get to the end and like they've known obviously that we're going to know who's on 50 by the time 49 airs. So they purposefully put 2 winners on the same tribe in 50. I'm saying it might be Rizgod.
With Rizgod, yes.
Yeah.
I think Survivor might be playing 4D chess with us right now.
They put 2 46ers on the same tribe, and they didn't need to do that.
They love being unpredictable.
They could have split them up. They could have split them up, and they didn't. Okay?
Yeah.
So anyways, tomorrow Mass and I will go in depth and talk about the remaining 13 players left in the game, but that's all we're doing for this podcast tonight. All right, let's move on to trivia question. At the moment, Rebekah's in the lead 2-1. Is that
Let's
correct,
go.
Rebekah?
That is correct.
Since
and I gotta.
Katie is,
Yes,
since Katie's here, Katie can help either of us with our question.
Oh,
help me.
okay.
Don't help Wesley. Us
She can help
Swifties, we
either
gotta
of us.
unite.
She can help
Gotta
both.
stick together.
No, I need you to sabotage Wesley. Give him wrong answers.
That's sexist. Don't be Savannah. All right, Rebekah, go ahead and ask your question first, I guess.
Okay, all right. So I'm trying to amp up the difficulty a little bit here. We'll see if this worked. So so your question is, over the years, several former Survivor contestants have given TED Talks. Who on this list has not given one?
Oh
So
my gosh.
Everyone on this list except for one person has given a TED Talk.
Get
Your
outta
options
here.
are, if you know this, it's insane. Okay, your options are Coach, Chrissy
gave one.
Hoffbeck,
She gave one.
Francesca, or Johnny Fairplay.
Okay. If you're telling me Fairplay gave a TED Talk, I'm going to say
I actually know
get the
this
Fairplay out of here. I want to say Fairplay, but now I feel like I'm being tricked. Are you saying
that
who
your
did not
final
give
answer?
one, right? No. Are you saying
Do you want to
who
phone a
did not?
friend?
Shush. Do you want to say who? Do you want to? Are you asking who did not give one, right?
That is correct. Everyone except for one person on this list has given a TED Talk. So the question is, who has not?
Katie, I'll hear you. Who do you think it is? Is it Fairplay?
Well, I feel like I know this one like for a fact because I know one of these 2 people for a fact has given a TED Talk. Do I give?
Who is it?
Francesca has given a TED Talk. I'm sorry, Francesca has given a TED Talk.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, my mouth was dry. I'm getting treated for it. Well, that's good to know because to me, it seems plausible that I know Coach and Christy have given one. So like that wasn't even like, so Francesca, it seems plausible to me that she would because she seems like a professional businesswoman. Fairplay, Rebekah, that was a bad fake answer. You should have. It's Fairplay's the answer, and I know I'm right. I'm with Katie because like there's no way Fairplay gave a TED Talk. Fairplay.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Yes.
Okay, that is correct. But can you imagine?
Good.
Can you believe Coach gave one? That to me, I was like, I need to go listen to that immediately. I still haven't listened to it, but that one was the
Do
funniest.
you know what it was about, Rebekah?
I have no idea. I
need to watch
I haven't
that.
listened to it yet. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Coach gave one. Do you remember that pre-2008 National Geographic wanted to go with him down the Amazon? He said, no, this one's for me. And when he was doing that, he got captured by the locals, and they tied him up to like a post, and they said they were going to eat his butt.
Yeah, they were going to like roast him
butt.
over the fire, right?
Yeah,
You're
they
so
were roasting
right.
on fire
I forgot
and eat his
about that.
butt. Now,
Yeah.
a man like that, where National Geographic could have been there to film this, was not. They could have been, though, because that one was for him, remember?
Would
That
National
guy gets a TED
Geographic have
Talk.
also gotten tied up? Or
No. They would be like, they would have their press badge. Like, no, press.
they're just like taking
The
photos
press
of him
badge is the
tied up on the
shield.
log.
It's like the war zone. I know it's not like I think people wear stuff that says press in a war zone, and not that that's like immune, not like you're like have a shield, but you're not a target as far as I'm aware.
Sure.
I mean,
I don't know. You know more about
They would
this
just
than
be
I
there.
do.
They would be filming it in 2007 HD,
Right.
very early HD digital cameras down in the Amazon. Coach roasting over a fire. Coach had to escape, by the way. Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm glad we're tied 2-2.
Well,
All right,
not
here's your
not until I ace this question, but yes, continue.
How about you just don't get a question? All right, perfect. Let's move on now. All right, your question, Rebekah, is which Survivor finalist was the first to ever be shut out with 0 votes at Final Tribal Council? No options. You just have to tell me. I'm just kidding.
Wait,
All right,
sorry.
your options are
Which Survivor
first person
finalist?
to ever go. This is the first person to ever go to the end of the game, final 2, final 3, whatever, and get 0 votes. They were at Final Tribal. They got 0 votes. First person to ever have that happen to them. Your options are A, Lil from season 7, B, Twyla from season 9, C, Katie, not our co-host, but Katie from season 10, or D, Becky from season 13. This is the first person to ever have it happen. So Lil, Twyla, Katie, or Becky, season 7, 9, 10, or 13.
I feel like it had to happen before season 13, though.
I don't think it was Katie. Actually, Rebekah, now that I think about it, I feel like, okay, I don't want to like throw you off here. So if you
please
have
do.
a different
I have
gut reaction.
no idea, so I'm down to go with your gut.
I feel like now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of remember being a kid and being in like, it was like Final Tribal. It was like Palau and maybe Palau, right? Season 10? Yeah. And
yes.
and they said, and I feel like I remember them saying Katie at least once in the Final Tribal, because I feel like I remember being special because that's my name. But also, do not go based off of, I don't even know how old I was then, like 7?
I don't know.
That was 2005, so you tell me.
I was like 6.
I don't know. if we had some sad music and some photos of you as a kid, that's kind of your sob story right there. So I feel like I kind
really
of have to go with that. Like, yeah. So, okay, I have no clue, so I'm going to go with Katie's gut. So I'm going to say Becky as my final answer.
Is that your final answer, though?
That is my final answer.
Okay, that is correct.
Let's
Lil
go.
got 1 vote. I believe Twyla got 2. Katie got 1 from Kobe.
From Kobe, that's right.
Kobe gave her a vote because he hated Tom that much.
Exactly.
Yes.
Becky was the first one to ever get 0 because that was the very first time they did a final 3. And Ozzy lost to Yule 5-4, and Becky got a fat 0. Now I could be wrong, but I was like thinking back. I'm like, Aris beat Danielle, but Danielle got a couple votes. And then I go to Guatemala. Stephanie got at least 1 vote from Rafe. Season 10, Katie got 1. Twyla got a couple. Amber and Rob. I mean, Rob lost to Amber, but Rob got votes. Lil. Yeah, it was really good when they have final 2s. Notice how like everyone got votes.
Yeah.
And then you get to you get to the final 3, and all of a sudden, it's almost like there's a flaw in the form. It's almost like there's a flaw in the final 3 idea. Huh? All right.
But what if we need a tiebreaker? Cough, cough.
Cough, cough. All right, let's move on to your all's questions. As always on YouTube, as soon as the episode's done, ask for your all's questions on YouTube. And if I notice that you comment on the actual podcast when we post it, you are more likely to be chosen. I say this because it seems to have encouraged people to actually comment, which does help the algorithm, but also helps me know who's actually listening. So our first question is from Amanda. Katie, this one's for you. Who do you think will win the Sage versus Shannon battle? They feel like it's obviously Shannon, but they want to know if you see it differently.
I think that's a good question. I could see Sage winning this battle. I think
Could she pop Shannon's blackhead and send her out of the game?
Exactly. You know,
the blackhead of her Survivor game.
She says, Shannon, I think it's time for your potty break, and it's my time to reign on my throne.
That's so funny.
All right, Rebekah, next one's for you. Luke asked, is it official that red flag is the new big mistake of the season?
Oh, absolutely. Here's the thing, though. We need more catchphrases from her. We need things like cancel Christmas. I don't know. We just need some more. So, like, yes, red flag is the first one, but I don't know. We need more. I need more personality from her. I need more phrases to use. I need her to invent something like a skirt or some piece of clothing.
Do you need her to just copy what Q did?
Yes, I need her to be Q in every conceivable way.
Dude, what was so great about Q is that Q made up his own stuff, and I look forward to him being on 50, hopefully with something new. Yeah,
I love that Q is just out there doing his thing. Yes. He was just out there doing his thing, and they happened to be filming Survivor.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right,
Big
next
fan.
question's from Philly Loyal. They say not a question, but they love how Sophie didn't back down about just fruit platter. And to that, Philly Loyal, I 100% agree. I want to hear Sophie S get purpled, but also for some reason be given the chance to criticize Survivor on Survivor. Like, I thought I was having an existential crisis. I don't know if that's the right phrase, but I was like, there's no way they let somebody criticize the show in the new era. Like, get out of here.
I actually
What?
respect her so much for being brave enough to do that.
Yeah.
Because
Right,
as we
to
all know,
Jeff's face.
Survivor is a monster. The new era is a monster. And she went up
Yeah,
against
the
the
monster
monster.
of toxic positivity.
Well, to be fair, everyone did pretty much jump down her throat immediately. Like Christina and I forget who else, but like people on the other tribe were like, no, we want the fruit. We want the fruit. Yeah.
I would be like, Jeff, can I trade this fruit platter for one dry hot dog? And Jeff's like, no, this is what you get. Like, no, Jeff, I really want one dry hot dog at the sanctuary. I would get purpled so hard, I gotta tell you. I would be giving amazing confessionals, but nothing that fits the vibe of the season.
Because it's
All
all
right,
about
Chris
vibes.
Miller asks, Chris Miller wants to know if Sophie got purpled. No, Chris, she got one Sophie asked, got one confessional, and I forget what it was about, but she got one. So
It was about
I don't
eating
think-
worms and not wanting to eat worms.
Oh,
There we go.
yes,
Very
you're so
important,
right.
very integral
Yep.
to the narrative of the story.
So, Katie, question for you. Patrick asked, did anyone else get the have versus have-nots vibe from this tribe swap?
Oh.
Because none of the things Red had transferred over to the Blue Beach or anything like that.
Yeah, I have to say that moment when, I know this is kind of going back, but like when Savannah and Rizgod were sitting on the hammocks and Savannah was in her full villain energy of, I love that we're sitting here. And I think it was Rizgod that said like, yeah, they only won this like yesterday. That was just cinema. That was so
Yes.
good. I ate that up. That was amazing. That was amazing.
All right, Rebekah, next one's for you. The Rebel Dog asks, who does Jeff think he's fooling? We know there wasn't
Just
a tribe
in general?
swap. Just in general.
Okay.
We know that
yeah.
he says we know there wasn't a tribe swap planned at 14 people left. 2 tribes were not planned until Jake was medevac. With that being said, do you think it's possible it was voted on for 50, they would go to 2 tribes?
I'm sorry. I'm still just caught up on like, who does Jeff think he is? Just in general.
I don't know about 50, but I will say that the question basically is, do you believe that they're really going to 2 tribes of 14?
Sure. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think you guys heard this differently than I did. So my interpretation was that Jeff was saying this was on the table for us to do at 14. So I could be wrong. I need to go back and listen to it because if you both heard it differently, I'm probably wrong. But
I think he said it was happening at 14. Like
Yeah.
Katie said.
so I don't know, that is interesting. Yeah, it like you said, it raises some questions about the mergatory and like when that's happening, if that's happening. Because like it does come a point where it's like, okay, are we gonna swap tribes for one day? Like Rizgod and Savannah are like, they just won these hammocks yesterday, and then they also only get to use it for one day because there's another like the mergatory or whatever.
That
I
would
don't
be
know.
even
It's just-
funnier, honestly.
Yeah,
But, like, I wouldn't
I'm very
like
curious
it.
what their plan was. Yeah, absolutely. Me too. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the questions we have for this week. Let's move on to the new section of our podcast, which I did explain the first 2 weeks, and I forgot to last week exactly why. We're trying to expand not only yours and my mind, Rebekah, with different stories, because every season of Survivor is a story, but our audience, what are other stories we can watch? And maybe we should be watching more horror movies, because apparently this season is a horror movie. We have not been doing that because this week's movie review, I have not seen this movie for the first time all season. This is a movie review we're doing. I haven't seen it. Rebekah, what's the movie you're reviewing this week?
All right, so this week I am reviewing Netflix's movie Marriage Story that came out in 2019. It stars Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. It is not a horror movie, but I do have to say up front, it is rated R, so just throwing that out there, like, it's mostly for language, like, that's pretty much the big thing. It's also, like, I guess a little bit because it's a dark, kind of heavy themes throughout.
So is it scary?
I wouldn't say scary so much as, like, sad, but it's very good. But I just want to say that up front, like, this is definitely an adults only movie. Like, don't show this movie to your kids because there's a lot of language in it. They also swear in front of the kid a lot in the movie.
Are you saying I shouldn't show my 8-month-old this movie?
I would probably advise against it because your 8-month-old might get divorced after watching this movie.
Holy crap.
Right. Okay, so I'll explain the plot a little bit. So this is a drama/romance. It's honestly almost like kind of a dark comedy at times. Like a lot of, I found myself laughing a lot, which partly was because like sometimes I laugh if I'm like feeling secondhand embarrassment, but also some of it was just like really darkly funny, and I have a very dark sense of humor. But it's the movie describes itself as it's a love story about divorce. So it's about two people who do love each other, or at least love some version of each other, but they're going through a divorce because they are like ultimately incompatible. But they're going through a divorce while also like raising their son and trying to, you know, work through everything with lawyers and like just the mess that divorce is. But at the same time, like there is a deep, like, I guess, respect and love for each other. So it's a lot of very complicated feelings, and it's really like, it's just such a beautiful movie. Like the cinematography is gorgeous. It was shot on film. It has some really fun like color motifs throughout. Yes. Yeah.
That's
and it is
on film? Holy crap.
It is beautiful. Like I'm just telling you, like the cinematography is so gorgeous. Like you could almost print out every single frame from this movie and just like hang it on the wall as art. Like it's so gorgeous. It has a lot of really fun like color motifs throughout. So they kind of have like primary colors for each of them. So like his primary color is green and hers is red. And it's really cool to see how they kind of like play with that. And like sometimes, you know, red will show up in his shots when he's like really missing her or like thinking about her more. And same thing for her. Like, you know, green kind of shows up in her shots when she's thinking about him. So it's really beautiful. It is very bittersweet because it, you know, it's a story about divorce. So you kind of like already know it's going to be
called
sad.
Marriage Story.
I know, but it's about, I guess it's about a marriage
Are you
that is
saying it should
ending.
be called Divorce Story?
No, because it is a love story. Like it's so hard to describe because it is a love story. Like there's scenes where the two of them, I mean, they'll literally be like screaming at each other, like saying the most horrific things about each other. And then they both just start sobbing and comforting each other. It's like that sort of dynamic where, I don't know, it's just fascinating to watch. So yeah, it's one of those movies that like you watch it once and then it really sticks with you. Like it's a little bit slow paced. Like there's not a lot happening, but it's definitely one that, I don't know, you watch and then you kind of have to like process it for a little while afterwards. I will say the acting for the most part was really good. It was a little hit or miss. There were a couple scenes where I was like, the acting wasn't as strong as I thought it could have been, but generally speaking, it was very good. And also both of the actors, Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, they both sing in this movie. And I didn't know, but apparently
is it a musical?
It's not a musical. They only sing one song each. But Adam Driver has an incredible voice. And I guess it makes sense because of his like speaking voice is so unique. But like,
I love his speaking voice is really unique. Yeah.
Yeah. So hearing him sing even one song, I was like, I need to see a musical with this guy like immediately. So it was fun. That was a fun surprise that I didn't know was going to happen. And also, this is random, but Julie Haggerty from She's the Man is in this movie. And she plays the...
She's the Man. Of all the movies we got pulled.
Listen. And she plays kind of the same character in this movie. Like, her voice is just so unique. And also, I feel like she hasn't aged in 20 years. So I don't know what her secret is, but that was like a very fun surprise. No, but I mean,
she got
like...
it from Jeff.
No, but I mean, she looks exactly the same. Maybe she's had work done. I don't know. But she doesn't look like it. So anyway... Yeah, that's my review. I enjoyed it a lot. Again, it's kind of slow. It's a drama. It's a bit bittersweet. So, you know, it's maybe not everybody's cup of tea, but it is a very beautiful movie, and I enjoyed watching it a lot. So that's my review of Marriage Story.
That one's on Netflix, right? You said?
It is. Yes, that's correct. Yep.
Okay. There's another movie with Adam Driver, not Star Wars, though I know that's where everyone knows him from. It's Kylo Ren.
I thought you were gonna be like this little movie Star Wars. Don't know
This
if
little
you've heard of
movie
it.
Star Wars. Have you heard of it? Yeah. So he plays Kylo Ren. For those who didn't immediately recognize the name Adam Driver, he's also another movie that I believe is on Amazon Prime because they funded it. This is before Marriage Story, and I think this is post Force Awakens, pre The Last Jedi, called Patterson. So Marriage Story.
Is this the movie with the soup scene? You know what I'm talking about?
It's been a little while since I've seen Patterson.
He's like sitting in a restaurant eating soup, and for some reason that audio went viral on TikTok. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
I know what you're talking about.
This is like. I'm glad you do. I don't think this is that movie.
You're chronically online TikTok friend here.
Yes. Yes, let's go.
All right. Well, anyways, I'm saying for those who want to watch an Adam Driver movie and apparently have a movie that doesn't sound as depressing, check out Patterson. It's a very low key movie with him in it, but I've never seen Marriage Story, so I was really listening to your description of it, and I gotta tell you, I'm not sure whether I'm gonna be depressed or happy by the end of the movie.
Well, that's the thing. It's both, and that's like for me when I'm watching movies, I love like conflicting emotions. Like that's something that really draws me in because it's so fascinating how like humans can hold two opposing emotions so like strongly, and so that's what this movie is. Like it's very sad, but it's also like pretty funny, and it's like hopeful at the end. Like it does end on a positive note, but it's also like you just watch these people go through a divorce. So it's hard to describe. It's both. It's all things.
Okay. Do you like La La Land? Is it similar to kind of like that feeling at the end?
Yeah, I do love La La Land. This is a little different because it doesn't focus so much on the romance. Like the movie starts with them getting a divorce.
They're
like
already married.
I see.
Yes. So we don't get to see a lot of the good times. Like there's a little bit, like the very opening
but it
of the movie.
Does it bring you like similar emotions at the end?
I think so, but La La Land is more lighthearted, I would say.
Okay.
Because we're seeing more of the romance and more of the fun, and it's a musical, so it's just like it's a little bit more.
I'm a sucker
fun.
for musicals, so
yes, honestly, same. Yes. So yeah,
Rebekah, you and I are gonna be good friends, girl.
Yes, we are. Let's go.
Katie, have you seen this little musical called High School Musical?
Little musical. I actually wasn't allowed to watch Disney Channel growing up, so I didn't see that till I was in like college.
Oh, same.
Wait, really?
Are we the same person?
Were you homeschooled, Katie?
I wasn't, but I was very sheltered.
Oh, nice. Okay, that was close. We're almost the same person.
I've never heard anyone not be able to watch High School Musical before. That's a new one.
Yeah.
I don't think I watched it till I was like 18 or 19. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nothing on Disney
Channel. And my
Channel.
parents had to watch it first to make sure it was okay.
Theoretically, this is the end of our podcast. We have been recording for 17 and a half hours, but I will give you both, and I'm timing this, 5 minutes to talk about whatever Taylor Swift stuff needs to be talked about.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Katie, you go first. I want to hear your thoughts on the new album.
It's not what I expected. Okay. Like I just told you, I love like musicals, musical theater. And that is what I was like expecting in the marketing leading up to this album release. And it was definitely not what I was expecting.
Right.
I was also told like folklore lyrics with 1989 beats. And I also don't feel like that's what I got. I usually like most albums grow on me. I loved Tortured Poets. I loved Midnights, but I wasn't like obsessed with them, but they both grew on me to a point where I loved every single song on them. I unfortunately do not see myself getting to that point with this album, as much as I hate to say it. But I'm disappointed with my reaction to it. I feel like I am not living up to my name as Survivor Swiftie. But I think I just need some time to like process like what I thought we were getting versus like what we actually got, and like merge the two and find some acceptance in what we actually got. I'm sure a lot will grow on me, and there is a lot of good out of this album. I do like a lot of it. But it's gonna be in my bottom no matter what, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Ooh, sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I fully agree with everything you said. Like, to me, there were a couple songs that I liked. Like, I did enjoy The Fate of Ophelia. Even, like, Opalite was pretty good, you know. There's some fun songs on there. Like, yeah, there's a bop, and I don't think there's anything wrong with, like, just having a song that's just fun. Like, I think that's totally valid. I do agree with you. Like, I was pretty disappointed in the lyrics. Yeah. Just for context, Evermore is my favorite album. So, like, I'm very much a fan of the poetry. Yeah. Like, more side of things that she's kind of leaned into in the past. And I was hoping that's what we were going to get here. And that's not what we got. I do think it's been really interesting because, like, I've been a Swiftie for so long. And kind of same as you were saying, like, I haven't immediately loved every album. And I think it's been so interesting because as a Swiftie, when you've been a Swiftie for a long time, you kind of see these ups and downs. Yeah. And there's been so many people who were like so on board with the Taylor Swift train, you know, back during the Eras tour when it was the cool thing to do. And like, oh, it's cool to like go spend thousands of dollars to see this concert. And then now they're like ripping her to shreds. Like, oh, like Taylor Swift is so unethical, like blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's getting really personal. Yeah. And to me, I'm like, that seems like an overreaction. Like, you don't, as a Swiftie, you don't have to love every album. That's totally fine.
You also don't have to love her as a person. You can just love her art.
Yeah, you can just, you can just enjoy the music. But I don't know. So I've seen a lot of people really overcorrect to this. And I think it's totally valid to just be like, you know what? This isn't my album, but I'm still a Swiftie. I still think she's done a lot of great work. And I don't know. I'm satisfied with that. So that's kind of my 2 cents. But yeah, I agree with everything you said. So
I think that's some
how do we do, Wesley?
Insight.
Was that
what? I wasn't really listening. What's up?
How do we do? Is that 5 minutes? Do we have more time?
You're at 4 minutes. You got 1 minute.
Okay. Anything else to add, Katie?
No, I think you covered it pretty well. There were a few lyrics, like we all dressed up as wolves and we looked fire, that was just like bringing it back to Survivor a little bit. Like that takes me out of like the story. Some lyrics just take me out of like the story of what her album is or whatever. Just like sometimes the sob stories and like the photos and stuff, like they take me out of the like story building we're creating within Survivor. And I like hearing backstories from people. I kind of prefer it when we don't have the accompanying photos and videos, etc., because I feel like that takes me out of the game, and I'd rather live within this fantasy world within both Taylor Swift albums and Survivor. So that's the best I can really do to wrap it in a little bow.
I love that. I love that. What is, just out of curiosity, what's your favorite album, or do you have one?
Speak Now will always and forever be my favorite album.
That's such a good choice. That's great.
I know.
Nice.
What about you? You're an Evermore girly.
Yes. Yeah. Evermore is my favorite. Folklore is great too. They're obviously like sister albums, but yeah, so Evermore is my favorite of all time.
All right, we're way over time, and
I was just waiting for you to cut us off. We can talk all night. We've already been podcasting for like what, 23 hours?
Yeah, I took a nap for the past 3 hours while you guys talked. So. All right, well, hey, that's it for this week. Next week, if everything goes well, Eric, who gave away immunity to Natalie, will join us. Though I won't say that on his podcast to be respectful to him. So I'm getting those jokes out now. But yes, Eric,
get it out of your system.
We thank you all for listening. Tomorrow, Mass and I will be doing winter analysis, and next week, Rebekah and I will be back with another guest. All right, well, we thank you all for listening. We'll see you all next time.
Bye.